What's up, guys? Ricardo here with another episode of Super Cool Nerd Nation. I am here with the one and only, the Fall Collins. We've got Artemus.
Hey.
How you doing today, man?
Good, man.
Thank you. Thank you for coming on.
Living the dream.
Good. I know you took some time off work real quick, so we'll kind of get this going. So you used to be into cosplay, or you used to cosplay a lot.
Yeah, I used to cosplay anytime there was a comic book convention. I always made sure to attend.
And the ones most people wouldn't know you from was Green Arrow, correct?
Yeah, I used to do Green Arrow. My first cosplay was the 11th Doctor.
Okay.
That was my very first cosplay, and Doctor Who kind of got me into the nerd community a little bit. I'd always called myself a nerd, but it wasn't until I started cosplaying that I, met people who were like me, who were really passionate about everything.
When was that? Like, because it was in the last 5 years, right?
Yeah, I think it was about 2011.
2011. Okay, that kind of seems to be the kind of the trending thing. Was a lot of people were all nerds, but I think like in the last 4 or 5 years was when really the cosplay community really kind of took off in Dallas.
Yeah.
And you were kind of a part of it. You were part of that there in the beginning. So you were doing Green Arrow.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if you hear bells. There is music playing in the background. It's okay.
That's Pink Floyd. Don't disrespect Pink Floyd like that, all right? I mean, the video might get pulled from YouTube.
See, I don't know much about music. Music is my wife's thing, and yours. So, she'll hear 3 beats of some symphony from 1582, and she'll know exactly who it was, who made it, and who played it, and the whole history behind it. So
I remember when Shazam was first a thing. I loved challenging Shazam. Right?
Oh,
my friends would be like, "Let me Shazam," and I'd be like, "No, wait, I can get this faster." And I would always try to beat the clock.
How many times did you beat the clock?
About half.
Half? Okay. Hey, you know what? You're half better than a computer.
That's true.
That's great. Skynet, you're not gonna take over. I don't care what you no. So, so cool. So you did Green Arrow. You did Doctor Who. Growing up, so Doctor Who kind of ended in the mid-90s. Did you grow up watching Doctor Who, or did you get into it when it was the revival?
So I did get into it with Matt Smith. I got into it with the revival, and he was my very first Doctor. And you always remember your first. He's still my favorite Doctor. I've loved Capaldi. I didn't see any Jodie Whittaker, but loved David Tennant. But yeah, Matt Smith's definitely.
My first Doctor was 9th. Christopher Eccleston, but definitely my Doctor, along with half the fandom, I think it's Tennant's the 10th.
Yeah,
that was just the one that kind of grasped me the most. So, so now you don't cosplay as much, correct?
I don't. So, a couple of years back, I'd made a conscious decision. As you know, cosplaying and conventions are very expensive and very, very time consuming, and it's pretty much that's the next thing that you're thinking about always. So I kind of had to make a decision if I was going to really get serious about my music career and really try to do something. I needed to focus. I needed to kind of, any money that I was putting towards a costume, I could put towards recording gear.
Okay.
Or, in my time on weekends when I'm at a comic book show, I could be recording.
Yeah.
So I had to make a decision, and so far it's felt like the right decision. Just since I quit, I've been progressively getting more and more work as a musician, and I've been seeing growth in my career. Little steps. I mean,
little steps, yeah.
Still working to get there, but I've definitely seen the improvement.
So, I mean, a lot of people grow up listening to music, whatever the parents, kind of I grew up listening to Queen. That was my first band going into it. But I can play an instrument to save my life. maybe the triangle. But with you, how did you kind of get into music to start playing? Was it when you were a kid? Did you have a guitar or a drum set growing up?
Yeah. So my father is a musician.
Okay.
I do play in a band with my father, who is also named Art.
Okay.
And he wanted me to play guitar. I asked for a drum set. So he plays guitar, and drums I was just immediately drawn to. And
it makes a lot of noise. It's loud.
It does.
You're hitting something.
You're the most important part of the band. You can have a band without a guitar player, without a bass player, without a singer, but the drums, that's all you need. That's what the cavemen were using.
That's true. They were banging their sticks on rocks.
That's right.
That was the original drums.
Yeah.
So did you get that drum set?
I did, yeah. My dad bought me a drum set. He's bought me a few drum sets over the years. One as my graduation present. One,
Nice.
Yeah, he was very supportive, and I mean, hey, he gained a drummer. I'm still his drummer today. So.
There you go. How long have you been drumming?
Probably at least 20 years.
Wow.
Yeah, I've been playing a while.
When did you get your first drum set? Were you like 10, 11, 12?
Man, it's been so long. I don't even remember. It's probably around between 8 and 10.
8 and 10. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
He was very good about encouraging me in whatever I wanted to do, and I wanted to play drums, and he nurtured that. And
Did he teach you how to play drums, or did you kind of learn by yourself? Well, I would say, did you learn on YouTube at the time YouTube wasn't a thing?
YouTube wasn't a thing, but what was a thing was instructional DVDs.
That's
and
right.
I just watched
I
watched the same 4 DVDs just over and over again, and eventually I would just I would listen, and I learned from just listening, man. Just listening to a song and just going for it.
Do you remember your first gig?
My first show was at a place called Dream World.
Okay.
Dream World Music Complex. It was like a teenage club.
Where was this at?
Oh man, I think it was in Arlington.
Okay.
It was in a band called Glory Theory with
you
may know professional wrestler Gregory James.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were that was our first
Really?
band. Yeah.
There you go. So how the gig go? If you remember.
Oh, I think it was awful. I feel like we felt like rock stars, but looking back, I was like, oh my god. And so my first kit, I had grown and grown and grown because I was into Rush, I was into Dream Theater, so I wanted to be like my boy.
They have the big drum
set.
sets.
So I had this big drum set that we just carried. We loaded onto my dad's truck, and then we just loaded down. And just for this little 30-minute set, I just had this giant drum kit.
How many drums?
It was let's see, I had 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. So it was probably a 7-piece. But I remember I had a double pedal.
Yeah.
My first show, my dominant pedal, my kick,
Went out.
It went out, but I had the left pedal, and these were awful pedals. So like I'm just playing the entire show just like with this heavy foot on my left foot, and it's just I learned to adapt very early.
Yeah. you break a stick, your pedal goes out, a drum breaks or something. Yeah, you learn. That's, man. Well, I'm glad you had that first show to kind of learn from it. Is your drum kit still as big, 7-piece, or?
It's not. So the thing about as you grow older, and are actually a working musician, you start to realize you don't need all those things. It's just more things to carry.
Yeah.
So if I can get away with just bringing a snare drum, I'll bring a snare drum. But
Okay.
most of the time, I'll just bring like a 5-piece for any Phil Collins shows, for Artemus shows, for my other band, Eden.
Man, you're in 3 bands.
Yeah.
Man, nice. I just knew about Phil Collins because I'm seeing that one. I haven't seen the other 2 as much. Or at least maybe Facebook's weird. The algorithms are weird.
It really is. My Artemus thing, for the last year, I've been focusing on Phil Collins, which has been a lot of fun. I've gotten to play a lot of cool places. Just played Granada.
Nice.
That was a lot of fun.
Wait, you played Granada? Was that the same weekend as Parachute?
What's Parachute?
Never mind, it's another band. I had a friend of mine. They went to a concert, I think last week or the week before, and it was at the Granada Theater. So
Okay.
When you said that, I'm like, wait, did you open for a band?
No. It
Okay.
may have been like the weekend before. This was I think last weekend that we played.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean it's been fun. But my solo work, that's been my main focus. And, I'm just recording my EP right now, and then eventually I'll be recording my full-length debut album.
Okay, cool.
So yeah,
Looking forward to that one. Let's go back into a little bit more of the cosplay part.
Yeah.
So with the cosplay, while you were cosplaying, did you kind of take a break a little bit from music, or?
It wasn't. It was subconscious. It wasn't like I consciously put off music. But if you're doing all these things, you're not doing music.
Yeah, it's either one or the other. You have time for both.
Unfortunately, that's the case. And
Can be like Chris Jericho, where he wrestles and I mean, he kind of cosplays as a wrestler, and then he goes.
I don't think any of us can be Chris Jericho. I mean, the dude will be in Japan one night, and then
in Kansas the next.
yeah, Kansas the next night. So I'm not there yet. I don't have the stamina of a Jericho.
And he's like twice our age.
He is. But he's a rock star, so...
He is a rock star. He's a rock star and a wrestler. A world champion wrestler, too.
Man, I remember when that first album came out, that first Fozzy album.
Oh, yeah. Happenstance?
Was it Happenstance?
No,
yeah.
no, that was the second. Fozzy.
I think it was just Fozzy.
Yeah, just Fozzy was...
Because it had, like, Eat the Rich. I think it was just mostly, like, metal covers.
Yeah.
But, man, I dug that album so much. And then I hadn't listened to him for a while. And then that new one, Judas...
Judas Priest?
Yeah, not
no,
Judas Priest.
no,
Judas Rising,
yeah.
Judas...
Judas something, yeah.
Judas... No, not Judas Effect.
That's his finisher.
Yeah. But that's a really good album, too.
Okay, I know he uses that song for his entrance music, which I like, but I haven't sat down and actually listened to the album.
Yeah. It's a banger, bro.
I'm gonna listen to it on the way home, so there you go.
So, obviously, we're both wrestling fans.
Demi King?
Yeah, I've got my comic books and wrestling. This is the perfect shirt.
There you go.
Yeah.
Growing up, you got into Doctor. That was kind of your into the mainstream kind of big everything cosplay thing. Growing up, did you read comic books? What was kind of your introduction into being quote unquote a nerd?
So, I think like everyone else, Star Wars was a big one.
Okay.
I love
that
Star
also
Wars.
needs to be a trend. Everyone says Star Wars.
Man, it's just such a big thing in everyone's life. I think. Let's see. So Star Wars, honestly, wrestling was probably the biggest fandom I had as a kid. I thought I was going to be a wrestler. I was so consumed.
Hey, you still have a chance.
Man, I loved Mankind. I loved Stone Cold Steve Austin.
So you grew up during the Attitude Era.
I did, yeah.
Did you watch anything like right before that, like Hulk Hogan, Bret Hart, Ric Flair?
Nope, I was 100% Attitude Era, and I don't miss it.
Don't miss it.
I know a lot of people are nostalgic for the Attitude Era, but man,
at the time,
it was great, and yeah, you had all these larger than life people. But I grew beyond that into a pure wrestling fan.
So like New Japan.
Yeah. So
Ring of Honor.
And dude, we are living through the best timeline as a wrestling fan.
Yes. Because now we have not only we have like New Japan, Ring of Honor, kind of Impact whenever they actually are on TV.
Impact is really underrated right now. Like what Sami Callihan is doing in Impact, like if they would have used him properly in NXT, oh man, he could have been huge.
Yeah, that's Vince for you.
Yeah.
But now we have Ring of Honor, New Japan. We've got kind of Impact. We still have the NWA, and now of course with the AEW, especially with the AEW, like oh my god,
it's very exciting.
It's wrestling.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's a little bit of hokey stuff like spoiler if you watched Fyter Fest, the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega did the Hadouken from Street Fighter.
When they had Justin Roberts say round one, fight! Yeah, that was great.
They're like, no, you have to say it. You have to say we pay you.
Yeah,
you have to say it.
No, it's man, AEW's on fire right now, and you're getting a little bit of everything. AEW introduced me to my now favorite wrestler, Orange Cassidy.
AEW introduced to my favorite wrestler right now, MJF.
Oh, MJF.
Because he is better than you.
He's golden.
And we know it.
He's so golden.
If you get a chance, listen to the podcast he did with Stone Cold.
Okay.
Because he's in character, but at the same time he's not in character.
Was that when he was in MLW or was it?
He was still it was like a year ago, so it was before AEW. But
by the way, I feel like we're losing a lot of people right now.
That's fine. There's people that like wrestling, so they'll be fine.
Right.
And if you don't like wrestling, check out AEW. It's on the Bleacher Report. Watch Fyter Fest. That Jon Moxley versus what was his name?
Joey Janela.
Oh my god.
Brutal.
The thing with the thumbtacks and then the
taking off the shoes. Yeah.
Oh my god! And just hearing the screams, I was like, there's never this PG Jon Moxley was just dying to die and just become this Jon Moxley. So
just untethered and not even more violent. Like New Japan proved with that match with what's his name, the old CJ Parker, Juice Robinson.
Yeah, Juice Robinson.
He doesn't have to be violent to just be untethered. Like he can Yeah, I'm definitely
you can
liking
be violent
John
without the
Moxley's-
weapons
yeah.
and all this stuff. So, okay, so you grew up watching wrestling.
Yeah.
You say you kind of grew up into comic books as well.
Yeah. So the first thing that I remember watching was, like the first comic book related thing I remember watching was Batman Beyond.
Hell yeah.
That was my first Batman, and Terry McGinnis still has a special place in my heart. And I really hope they make that movie someday. But
Michael Keaton coming back as Batman.
Oh, that'd be amazing. Dude, they were just talking about, like, people were talking about, yeah, you know what? Make the Batman with Robert Pattinson, but make it Batman Beyond. Bring in Michael
I'd be
Keaton.
down for that.
Oh, that'd be great. And then, I moved on to Green Arrow comics.
How did Green Arrow kind of catch your attention? What was that?
So, as stupid as it sounds, my favorite color is green.
Okay.
And was green as a kid.
Okay, DX.
And, yeah. And as a kid, I actually used to do archery.
Okay.
But I had a left-handed bow. So.
Are you left-handed?
I'm not. So my dad bought me a left-handed bow because I went to private school.
Okay.
And you had to have like one thing, and archery just seemed.
So you had to hold it like this instead of.
Yeah. So I had to hold it like that, and whenever I shoot,
Yeah.
properly. Like I bought a new bow.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I was into archery, and I liked the color green, and Green Arrow. That just sounds like word association. Great.
I remember when you did your Green Arrow cosplay, I know you did the one from the CW show.
Yeah, so I think that's when I really became a Green Arrow fan. Because, I'd read the comics as a kid, but not like devoted. And it was just another thing that I had. I had Batman comics. I was a DC guy through and through. No Marvel comics. So it was just a part of my collection. And then when Arrow came out, it clicked. I loved Green Arrow, and Stephen Amell brought the character to life in a way I never thought possible. And
You fell the city.
oh my God.
Are you going to get that tattooed on you somewhere?
I need to, right? Well,
You
so
should.
I'd always thought about getting an arrow.
That'll actually be pretty cool right there.
Yeah, so I'd seen one that was like an arrow, and I want to get like, the television show's logo.
Yeah.
And then I always liked, I saw one that just said, "Just keep aiming,"
Ooh.
which I thought was really inspirational.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah. But I'm a weenie. I'm afraid of needles.
Hey, I will tell you one thing. Xanax.
Xanax for
Xanax. Just take a Xanax, calm, you relax, or do a shot of whiskey or rum, whatever you like.
Right, okay.
So calm your nerves. You'll be all right. It doesn't hurt that bad. Like I got these two right here.
Those look good.
Yeah, thanks.
What's
So these were Friday the 13th tattoos. There you guys can kind of see them there. That's from Star Wars. That's the rebel symbol, and then this one.
It's a candlestick.
It's a candle.
I thought it was a tugboat.
No, it's it kind of does look like a tugboat. No,
I was like, you like those early Mickey cartoons, right?
Well, I do like Mickey Mouse. No, but it was the most colonial tattoo they had for Friday the 13th, which they're like $20, so it's a cheap tattoo.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I want something kind of colonial because the bats they had. Because I want a Batman tattoo, but I'm like, that's like a weird looking bat. Like that's not the Batman one that I want. So I'm like, I want something kind of colonial. Oh, there's a candle, like an old school candle. Like that's colonial. People use that, so we'll go with that. So I'm gonna get it covered up. I'm gonna get this part covered. I'm gonna leave that one, but I'm gonna get this covered up.
I dig it though. I think you should keep it.
I actually had
It's different. Like
at one point, I actually had this whole arm, just be nothing but Friday the 13th tattoos.
Oh, really?
And then this one be like what I actually want to do. So
yeah,
because I'm very much into the Polynesian culture, so I want to do like a proper. I just don't want to do like a tribal thing, but I want to look like what into each line and each symbol mean, and kind of create my own out of that. So.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
But yeah, no, you should definitely do the tattoo for your arm. It doesn't hurt that bad.
My girlfriend had a cool tattoo idea that she found on like Pinterest or something.
That's the best place to get tattooed,
isn't it?
Yeah.
So it was like they were matching tattoos, but still individual enough to where if she gets bored and leaves me, then I don't just look at it and be like, why? So her, like hers would be a book.
Yeah.
And mine would be a Game Boy.
Okay.
And above it, it would just say, I've lived many lives.
Okay.
Which I thought was really cool. Again, weenie, so probably never gonna get it.
Come on, man. Turn into the demon. You'll be fine. We'll do your makeup like Finn Balor.
You think that'll give me the strength?
Yeah.
I'll be able
We'll put you in the headphones. We'll play.
I'll finally be able to defeat Leo Rush.
Yes. Fuck that guy. So tattoos maybe sometime in the future.
I think so. It's on my list of. I mean, my dad's still, he's against tattoos. Like,
okay.
My sister gets tattoos all the time. She's an adult.
Yeah.
We're adults. And, he still.
Will he kick you out of the band?
Gives her what for? I don't think he would kick me out of the band. He needs me. There are.
Do you though?
Count them. There are 0 drummers in the Dallas area.
Okay. I wouldn't actually. I might know one. Well, I know a guitar player who has a drummer in his band, so.
Well, he's busy.
Yeah. So you said earlier you were more into DC growing up, but now, of course, with the MCU, it's been 10 years since Iron Man. Well, 11 years since Iron Man, and the Incredible Hulk, which I know it doesn't count, but it counts. Did you kind of, at that point, kind of start getting into Marvel Comics at all?
So I haven't read Marvel Comics, and I don't see myself ever reading the Marvel Comics. I think the Marvel movies are just good movies in general. And so I think that's why they've been such a good entry point for everyone to, you don't need to be into superheroes. They're just good movies.
Yeah.
I'm a little disappointed, though, that it seems like ever since Winter Soldier, Winter Soldier felt like each character was going to get like their own vibe, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And so with like the espionage film, like a spy thriller.
Yeah.
I think that's the direction that comic book movies need to head. Is Batman can. I need to stop saying I feel it.
Yeah. You're good. Yeah.
In the air. So. Like Batman.
There you go. Just keep going with it. It's fine. It's fine.
So, as you have concluded.
There you go. That's just a fancy way of saying,
Batman can be a noir. Spider-Man.
Teenage Angst.
Yeah, an 80s teen film.
Which, by the way, if you guys, this is going to air after Spider-Man.
I still haven't seen it.
The first one? Okay, so this is coming out after Far From Home. Go watch it. It is absolutely amazing. I'll let that go for a while. Go see it though.
Yeah, I think I should.
If you can go see it tonight, go see it tonight. If not, do it tomorrow
because you're gonna spoil it for me tomorrow.
I might just text you at 3 a.m. and hey, this happened.
Yeah.
But no, there's the first after credit scene. I screamed.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I will tell you that I sat there and then I screamed. So, yeah. And when you watch it, you'll see why. So, more movies you thought they were going to be the movies, they kind of need to be their own thing and not just kind of be like cookie cutter over and over again.
And I think with the end of this collection of Avengers, now is the time to do that.
Okay. I think you'll get that feel from Far From Home.
Really?
Yeah, and especially because with again, it being Marvel, it has a second end credit scene. For one, the movie kind of does really end what happened between Iron Man and all the way up until Endgame, which I know a lot of people think that's the end of the Phase 3, but no, it's Far From Home. But that second end credit scene, the movie itself kind of really does a great way of end capping everything, and then the second end credit scene just really starts for like, okay, where the fuck are they taking this? Because holy shit.
Yeah.
So, but good. So yeah, so you said, did you ever watch like Logan or?
Oh, I loved Logan. So I didn't see the two Wolverine movies before Logan.
Okay, well, one of them doesn't count.
Okay.
But I'm
glad because I never saw it.
X-Men Origins. Well, you can get some friends, grab a bottle of beer, or a bottle of whiskey or tequila, and get a 6-pack of beer.
Okay.
Make it a drinking game.
Okay.
Because it's the only way you're gonna get through that movie. But
that's how I would describe Dark Phoenix.
Oh God.
So bad. So bad. But man, I don't know if you can hear this. Probably not. But this video is going to get demonetized, brother. Like...
What video is this?
No, this is the Beatles.
Oh.
This isn't making it online.
I think the microphone here was going to not drown it out, so we'll be all right.
If not, I was...
There you go. So, well, I did it one earlier today, but I couldn't hear the music in the background, so I think it'll be okay.
Nice.
So, yeah.
So what you're hearing right now is the hottest new Artemus track. And I know you can't see it, but people are dancing and going nuts. It's about what I expected.
Have you seen Yesterday?
I haven't. It's on my list. Me and my brothers had a long conversation around Easter about how ridiculous the premise was. I'm going to see it.
Yeah.
I think it looks like a good movie. But just as a musician and as a huge Beatles fan, I'm like, just because you have the songs doesn't mean you get famous off of Beatles. Like...
I will tell you this. This movie, there's a scene in there that every time it happens, the entire audience usually goes,
Really?
Yeah, and then I've seen a couple people shed tears during that scene, and then the movie, there are a couple of times in the movie that you will cry.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. I think there are a couple of scenes in it that you will, like, kind of, you might not, like, ugly cry, but you're definitely going to shed a couple of tears.
Oh, I think you underestimate my effort.
And I think when you watch the movie, being a musician, I think you're really going to connect with the main character in there, and kind of the struggle between...
Yeah. Just writing your songs and nobody caring.
No, not that part.
That's just what I got from like the...
It's like, it's your relationships with people and fame. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of people that have been trying to become a musician, and that have, and you kind of see them go off the deep end, and then this kind of gives you more, I get why they went that way,
right,
kind of deal. So, and I think when you see it, I think part of you is going to go, I feel that. So yeah, but no, yeah, if you haven't seen Yesterday, if you guys haven't seen Yesterday, go watch Yesterday. We do have a special menu for it.
Really?
Also, yeah, we have a really awesome frittata, a very spicy pizza. So if you like spicy, definitely go for it. And then these lemon ginger almond cookies that are absolutely delicious. That I've had them every time we make them. Like we had tastings at work, and every time they made them, I would take like a whole cookie. I'm like, I'm not sharing this. Like I get it. There's only 3 cookies that we need to split up into like 20 pieces, but I get a whole one for myself. So. So all right, going back. So now did Eden or did Artemus come first?
Well, Eden came first.
Okay.
But I mean, Artemus is me, so obviously I've been writing songs since I was a kid, and I've always had that songwriter spirit. Just, that's a song. I need to write that down. And so Eden came first. Eden was a band my dad has had for the last 30 years or so. I mean, it's been constant. I just so happened to join it. Okay. 10 years ago.
So Eden and Phil Collins are both you and your dad?
No, Phil Collins is just me.
It's just you? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay. I had that confused earlier today. So Eden is your dad's band.
Yeah.
That you're the drummer for. Mm-hmm. And then Artemus is just you again?
So it's just me. I play most instruments. I do have a writing partner, Chase Keller from Lady Wisdom, which if you've never checked out Lady Wisdom, they're awesome. They're pop punk.
Okay.
Their song Mama.
Can we find them on YouTube?
Yeah.
Okay,
you can find them on YouTube.
Lady Wisdom on YouTube.
Yeah, check them out. Check out Mama. Just such catchy songs.
Okay.
But two-thirds of Lady Wisdom have performed on my songs. I have a song called Heavy Heart, which most of it, most of the guitar was done by Chase Keller. And then Xavier from Lady Wisdom did the solo, which is haunting and chilling. But yeah, it's anyways. So, what was I talking about?
Artemus.
Yes. So, Phil Collins is me. Artemus is just me, and Eden is me and my dad.
How did Phil Collins come about? Let me rephrase it. How did you become a fan of Phil Collins? What kind of got you into Did you listen to Genesis first, or did you just listen to, or was it Tarzan? Was it the soundtrack to Tarzan that got?
You know what? It wasn't. So
because he goes,
although
he went hard, he didn't have to go that hard first.
He didn't need to,
but he did.
He did it for us.
Yes,
and we don't deserve him.
No, we don't.
That's the truth. So Phil Collins is a Phil Collins tribute band that I'm in, that I started last year, and it came about of my love of Phil Collins. So anyone who knows me knows that I'm a huge Phil Collins fan, and the way that came about was when I was in high school. I was in a band, and we were looking for a singer.
Okay.
And we just couldn't find one, and my dad was like, "Why don't you sing?" I was like, "'Cause I'm the drummer."
Yeah.
Don't be stupid. So he's like, "Well, you never heard of Phil Collins?" I'm like, who? You're not here, old man. with your jazz music. So
little did he know.
Oh my. So I listened to Phil Collins, and it was awesome. Like, he's a really underrated drummer. No, people don't really talk about how good of a drummer he really was in his day. And
still is, I think.
Well, unfortunately, he can't play drums much anymore, but his son's taking the mantle.
Okay.
Yeah, he's getting up there.
He's getting up there.
Yeah. That's why I'm here to replace him.
There you go.
I'm training.
You're training.
So, I've just always been a big fan, and it just kind of happened. Michael Cross.
Yeah.
Actually.
So, speaking of Michael Cross, he did. I know he went to one of your shows, and I remember him posting on Facebook that you sounded a lot like him, like Phil Collins.
Oh, from back in the day?
I guess.
Okay.
He just said we're here listening to Phil Collins, and he sounds a lot like Phil Collins.
Yeah.
You good?
Yeah, I'm
good.
good.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
I'm good.
Cool. We have maybe 10 minutes left because my battery's dying. So
Oh, okay.
We'll keep going.
Cool.
So he said you sound a lot like Phil Collins, which is, I think, just an amazing compliment to your talent.
I've taken it as a compliment, and it's funny because I've been doing this for a year now, and when people hear my Artemus stuff, it sound like, so I'm definitely putting on a voice, definitely doing an impression. I think I sound like him enough in my regular singing voice that if I, just with some tweaks, I'm able to hopefully sound as much like him as possible. But I had somebody, I was playing a show who had with just Artemus, and I was playing one of my songs, Phases, and someone came up to me afterwards and was like, "I've been to both. I've been to a Phil Collins show, and I've been to this show. You sound like two different people."
Oh, wow.
I was like, "Well, thanks."
There
Because
you go.
That's been my biggest fear with taking on the Phil Collins project, is I was afraid that it would define me, and that I would try to make music more towards what Phil Collins would make and try to sound like that.
Instead of kind of really making it your own.
Yeah, instead of just sounding like myself and just so happening to sound like Phil Collins every once in a while. And I mean, I don't shy away from the comparisons at all. I take it as a compliment.
Yeah.
And I've included Phil Collins' name in one of my songs.
There you go.
So I don't know if you've heard of Vampire Weekend.
Yes.
So they got a song, what is it? Cape Cod Plaza Plaza.
Okay.
Where the chorus is, "This feels so unnatural, Peter Gabriel too." And I've always liked the idea of using someone's name as a feeling, or what's just using their name dropping their name, but not in a way that's "Oh yeah, I hang out with Peter Gabriel."
Yeah.
So
when so you want to make it where when people hear that name, they
I'm
get
using
the
it to
feelings.
describe something.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'd had this idea, and I was finally able to incorporate it. You left me feeling Phil Collins when you left me to drown. And I was so happy I finally got to do that. Yeah, that's cheap plug. Heavy Heart is on Spotify,
Oh.
as well as my first single, White Noise.
White Noise on Spotify. Which one, under what name though?
Artemus.
Artemis. So Artemis
Find
on
me on
Spotify.
Artemis.
There we go. There we go. Cool. We have 20% left on my battery, so we've got a little bit.
That's great, because I have 20% left in me.
So, what's kind of your future? What's your plans for the future regarding not only Phil Collins but Eden and Artemus?
Honestly, Artemis is where I see my future. That's what I'm really trying to focus on. I think I'm always going to do Phil Collins shows as long as I'm able to.
But it's more like a fun gig.
It's,
and,
I mean,
they're both fun, but I mean, it's more
they're both fun, but I think nowadays, you know, if you want to make money playing music, you got to kind of be willing to do everything. So if I've got these things that make me money, I can also do Artemis and not make money. I mean, just as a musician, I want to make money playing music. I'm happy to be a working musician, and over the last year, I've been so lucky.
Yeah.
And just, I'm playing every weekend. I'm playing every week, and just, you know, after going so long of not playing shows for a while, you know, going months without playing a show, I'm so happy to finally be playing music often, and to get paid for it is also good.
Yeah.
But I'd be doing it either way.
There you go.
So I'm still gonna do that, but I have so many. I was about to say I have so many songs in me.
You do though.
There's so much musically I want to do that I have no idea what I'm gonna do next. Like I'm very excited to just get this EP out, the Phases EP, which I'm hoping to get out by like September.
Okay, so keep an eye out for that.
Yeah, so I've got that, and then the full-length album, I'm working on both like concurrently. So the EP will be more indie driven, you know, if you're into Dawes or maybe even Elvis Costello.
Okay, yeah.
Just more classic rock feel, just very guitar oriented. Iron and Wine.
I love Iron and Wine.
Hosier, that's who I've been listening to a lot.
Okay.
Got a song that's very Hosier inspired. And then my full album, 78 and Heartbreak, will be more 80s synth pop.
Okay.
Which I'm very excited about that. And that's why I kind of wanted to get like the indie album out first, so that I could be like, you know, I think they're both sides of me, but here's like more the singer-songwriter, and like, yeah, let's go full synth, drum machines. I think that was why I wanted to do the EP first, was because I would like to get something out there as a drummer. So I play drums, guitar, piano. Obviously I sing to varying degrees of success. And
One people have said pretty successful, so.
yeah. So I wanted to get an album out where I had real drums on it first. As a drummer, I would like to present myself, hey, I play drums. And then I can put out the album that's mostly drum machine heavy. And I'm sure I'll have real drums on that too, but very drum machine heavy.
If you could open for any band right now, who would you want to open for?
Right now, I would open up for Gaudier.
Gaudier? Okay.
I'm a huge Gaudier fan, and I know people were expecting Phil Collins. You don't need an opening act.
When you're that good, you don't need an opening act.
Man, when you're that good, you just enter the building and people are ready. So.
The only song I remember from Gaudier is the one that came out like 7 years ago.
Somebody that I used to know.
Yeah, that one. That's the one.
Is just scratching the surface. If you've never listened to Gaudier, listen to him.
Okay.
I mean, his lyrics are good. His song structures are really good. He's got a message. I mean, he's also a singing drummer, and I think that's what attracted me to him.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I love singing drummers, man. But yeah, look up. So Making Mirrors, the album that somebody that I used to know was on, obviously really good.
Yeah.
But his album before that, Like Drawing Blood,
Okay.
is a personal favorite of mine.
Okay. Like Drawing Blood. I'm going to listen to that on the way home. I need to listen to like a couple things on the way home. I just did, before this one, I interviewed Charles Pontier. He recommended me a couple things. So, like, cool. I've got things I can listen to in the car other than the same Spotify playlist I listen to all the time. So, you've got a couple shows coming out. Where can people come see you?
So my next couple shows are.
So this is going to be. Hold on. So make sure we give people the right dates. This is coming out a week from Thursday. So it's gonna a week from today actually. So next Tuesday is when this episode's gonna air. So after this weekend. After this weekend?
The last weekend of July.
Okay.
I'm saying that because the exact dates elude me. So I don't have any Artemus shows lined up just yet. I just played an Artemus show at Firehouse Gastro Park.
Okay.
Which is a great venue in Grand Prairie that is being spearheaded by, I don't know if you know, Zachary Balch, who is a fantastic local musician.
Okay.
He's actually the owner of Flint Creek Records.
Okay. Is that where you signed with?
No.
Okay.
I'm currently independent.
Okay.
And I thought about putting some feelers out there for, to get signed, but I might look for something for distribution. But right now, I'm really liking the freedom of just, having an idea, recording it, sending it to my friend, and then, he's a fantastic producer, Chase Keller. I cannot recommend him enough. From Lady Wisdom. And
good plug.
Yeah, for something that's not even mine.
That's what artists do, though. They help each other out.
I know so many incredible musicians that I want to get the word out about all of them. There's this guy I know named Artemus who will blow your mind.
Really? Your first EP is coming out in September, correct?
I'm shooting for September. So
is that going to be like CD, vinyl, just Spotify?
So anybody
who
subscribes to my YouTube channel, which is you can search for me Artemus Music on YouTube. I did a video, albums versus singles.
Okay.
And I didn't come to a conclusion of where I landed on the debate, but with myself. But what I'm thinking is releasing the EP and then releasing another EP, and then just on Spotify.
Yeah.
And then releasing those as a physical copy. My argument was, without going into too much detail, you'll watch a television show. They release one episode per week, which is all you'd be able to handle. I mean, nowadays in binge watching, you'd be able to handle more. But on network television, actually taking the time to watch something, I think that's all we can handle. Just one single thing. And then at the end of 22 episodes, they release a physical copy.
Yeah.
They release the season. And so my argument was I could release singles once a month, and at the end of the 12 months or whatever, I can actually release it physically. Because my argument is you can get someone to listen to one song.
Yeah.
Asking them to listen to 5 songs is a stretch.
Yeah.
That's the fact. They can add one song to their playlist and they're set. But
that's true about a lot of people. Hey, watch this one episode. Hey, watch this one match.
Yeah.
Hey, watch this one YouTube thing.
I don't know. My friend told me that about Battlestar Galactica. Just did not get into Battlestar Galactica. It wasn't my thing. But proven.
Yeah. It's like I'm gonna get into wrestling. What should I watch? Ooh, watch this match first, and then if you like it, come back. I'll give you another match.
What's the one match you would have somebody watch if they've never seen wrestling before?
If they've never seen wrestling before, the one match I would have them watch. Man, it's frustrating because of who's involved in this match, but it wasn't. Well, give me. Oh, I know. Daniel Bryan versus Kofi Kingston.
That was a really good match.
Give me that. My other one I was gonna say was WrestleMania 20, Shawn Michaels versus Triple H versus Chris Benoit. Mm-hmm. But with the stigma around Chris Benoit, I don't know if that's necessarily a good match to say, hey, watch this.
Yeah.
This is the guy that not only killed his family, but also killed himself. So, as much as a great match that is, I would probably say Kofi versus Daniel Bryan just because of how energized the crowd was. And it was a one-on-one match.
Yeah.
I would have said probably also Daniel Bryan versus Randy Orton versus Batista, but that was a triple. That's a different triple threat than the other one. So, but Kofi versus Bryan. On the independent scene, I would say watch Kenny versus Kenny versus Jericho 1.
That'd be a good introduction because I feel like people know who Jericho is.
Yeah.
And,
What would you say?
So I don't know what I currently tell people, but for a couple of years, the match that I'd always recommend to people was Bayley versus Sasha in NXT TakeOver.
Brooklyn? Yeah.
Yeah. It was just, I think that match had it all. And I really did show anyone who was willing to listen, show them this match.
Yeah.
Look, this has emotion. It was one of my favorite matches of all time for a long time. I don't know. I've shown some people, depending on
Go ahead.
If I want to show someone how amazing wrestling can be at its most ridiculous, I will show them HBK versus Hulk Hogan at SummerSlam.
That was just HBK being a dick to Hulk Hogan because Hogan was being a bigger asshole.
I love
backstage.
it so much. I love it. I love the pettiness so much, though. And just Hogan getting annoyed.
I thought of another one though. WrestleMania 25. Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because those were some of the two. You have a pure striker versus a pure showman coming together, and just the entrance, the build up to the build up to the whole story, and just that match itself, I thought I was in person there, so the energy of the crowd was just like. After that match, we still had like 2 more matches, I think, but we were drained.
Yeah.
We were that match was so draining, just emotionally and the energy. We were just expanding during that match.
Yeah.
So I would say watch this match. On the ridiculous part, just straight up balls to the wall. Any match, Young Bucks versus the Lucha Bros. Any version. I don't care which one.
So, I'm new to Lucha Bros. Oh my god. Those guys are incredible.
Settle. Miedo.
Yeah, dude. Like, I had no idea. I had no idea how incredible they were. And I'm so glad I know about them now.
Yeah. Same. So, awesome. Where can they find you on social media?
So, you can find me Facebook at The Artemus Music.
One word?
All one word.
Okay.
So, The Artemus Music. Instagram, you can find me Artemis_who. And in general, you can just find me at artemis-music.com.
Cool. And where they can find you on Spotify?
Spotify, you just search for Artemis, and I'll be there.
Cool. Awesome, man. Well, thank you so much for making time.
Thanks, Rick.
I appreciate it. And as always, keep on nerding. Cool.